Good evening. Hope everybody is doing well. Get Windows back in the right order here. So yeah. I just get a kick out of some people. I really get a kick out of some people. I'll just say this. Sometimes in life we run across people that might, have an adverse attitude or opinion about an individual because, maybe they had a disagreement, maybe they had an issue, maybe something came up between those two individuals. And so what you're getting is somebody else's frustration because they couldn't get away with what they wanted to, or whatever the situation could be. Anything, smorgasbord. I would advise you prepper channels that took advice about what kind of person I was from Edward Carswell, aka Prepper Nurse 1. Yeah, I might want to just put that off to the side. Because I guarantee you've heard one side, possibly heard one side, but you haven't heard the other. You haven't heard the side from the guy that got all the emails, got all the copies of conversations, you name it, to back him up. And I've called him out several times. Come to the table. If I'm such a horrible, terrible person, come on to the table. Let's talk about your contest where you handpicked people and told everybody it was a random pick. Let's talk about that. Because I've got confirmation from you that was going on. I mean, you told me about it. Well, I don't want to just give it to anybody. I want to give it to somebody that's been around for a while. Sound familiar? It's wrong to do that stuff, folks. It's wrong to lie to people. It's wrong to mislead people, no matter how big, no matter how small. It's wrong. And I'm sorry, but if you tell people, if you're having a contest and you tell people it's kind of a random deal, it should be a random deal. There should be no hand-picking it. That's why I respect any channel that has any kind of a contest or something like that they do it on screen. They pick the winners. It's the only way to do it. Any channel that does giveaways and stuff that don't do the picking of the giveaways live, yeah. I am suspicious. I already know one for a fact that was doing it. And, I've seen some other businesses too that's had contests that it's just awful interesting to people that win. That's the one thing, though, that I guess I can say I respect about Pinball is at least he does that much. When he has a contest, he does it on camera so everybody can see it. Kudos to him for that. But Kenneth, I'm going to tell you something. I have been around for a while. I have dealt with countless amounts of people in my lifetime, as I'm sure you have, given things you've done for a living. I've worked in supervision myself. I get it. But there's a different amount of things that I've done in my life, and they're just totally different areas. From one side of the spectrum to another side of the spectrum. Auto mechanics, electronics, aviation. I mean, just nonstop. It's been my entire lifetime. That's what I've done. I've researched. I've learned. Why? Okay, I'll give you a little bit of a tidbit. Edward, Kenneth, when I was a young boy, I was repeatedly told how stupid I was. Repeatedly. Over and over and over. And I can even remember it got to a point that I went to my mother and I asked my mother if I was retarded. Am I retarded because I'm constantly being called stupid? And the crazy thing is, it was actually the opposite. I was gifted. And here I thought I was retarded because of the way I was treated. So when you call me stupid, Kenneth, I've got your number. Because I spent my entire life doing everything I can to make sure that I am not stupid. Spending as much time as I can, learning as many things as I can to make sure that I am not stupid. You empty suit piece of shit. You started it, Pinball. You started it. And if it was started because of bad advice or bad information that you got from some other prepper channel, that's on you, not me. But I am the last person on this fucking planet that you want to call stupid. I still want that live debate with you, Kenneth. Let's have it. You said that I would be, you don't want something about Battle of the Wits because I'm unarmed or something like that. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Bring Eddie on, too. Bring your buddy Eddie on, too. Have a nice little round table of truth. I'm just pissed. I am tired of this bullshit, fake, made-up world in this YouTube-verse, if you will. And the constant nonsense from the prepper channels that are trying to do news. Over 4 train derailments a day. And now I suppose we're supposed to pick at least one a day out to get our panties up in a bunch about. I guess that's a reoccurring boogeyman of the week, huh? I just don't think it's a real good idea for people to be trying to assess situations if they don't have at least a certain level of knowledge and information stored in their head to retrieve at any given time. You know, not everybody should be a detective. It's not something everybody should do, right? Some people couldn't figure out anything. Other people have just incredibly just the way their minds work, the way their minds solve puzzles and whatnot. Incredible stuff. I can speak to that. Yeah, I know. Sorry, we got a car outside that I'm keeping an eye on. I don't know that we're supposed to get anything tonight. Hang on. We had gotten some stuff earlier today. But one of the packages wasn't supposed to be here until tomorrow. 1 second. Yeah. Oh, nope, it's out for delivery. That's me. Hang on, let me go turn on the porch light for him. Actually, probably let me go grab it. 1 second, sorry. They're finding the right one. Strawberries. What the heck? That would be a big box. I don't know that we're supposed to be getting a... No, put that back. We get a small package. Hold on. It's just a number 10 can, yo. And I hope that wasn't it in the door that I heard just crunch. Go to the other side. Take a look. Just a number 10 can, yo. You'll find it. I have confidence. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to do. I just want to make sure this guy knows that he got it at the right address, because some customers like myself are an ass whenever they deliver packages to the wrong place. Because the number's right above the door. I've done service work and had to find people's houses, and you know, people put their house numbers in the stupidest places. Don't do that. Please just put your number by the door. That would be beautiful. Okay, be right back. Stay back. You're fine. Thank you, sir. Yep, you too. Anyway. Yeah. Why? Because keep stocking and stacking and all that good stuff. Anyway, sorry about that. I wasn't supposed to be here till tomorrow, but I guess they got it out today, so. Alright, good deal. Good deal. Alright, back to news. Weren't we here for something? Oh, yeah, that's right. A news show. Hang on. So, yeah, strawberries. That's the first can of strawberries that we've got. Got a couple of apple slices, couple of banana chips. You know, just kind of trying a little bit of diversity. I wouldn't mind getting some blueberries and, you know, because at some point I want to hit and get some more oats and pancake mix and stuff like that. We've got quite a bit now, but that's something that's super cheap and, you know, is a super good way to provide calories, especially those morning calories. I mean, come on, oats. They do great for things like breakfast. And if you're like me, you like sugar. And, you know, that's why I figured the fruit, because I do store sugar, but the less sugar that I would have to use, for instance, in a bowl of oatmeal, because I've got fruit in there as well, the better off I am. So, just kind of an example. So, and why not? Why, you know, it doesn't have to be MREs, you know. You can have good tasting meals, even if the world's all screwed up around you. You can still make a tasty meal. So, anyway, but yeah, stack up on everything, and you know, it's just not that. We've got potato shreds coming, and we're not talking We're not talking the cans of potato shreds. And the reason why is right now those are on sale at Amazon. Hangy-on-y. Those are on sale, by the way, so you know. But I'm going to show you a life hack, yo. A life hack. Dreaming of a can of potato shreds that I have bought once before. I know y'all want me to sing professionally. I don't have time for it. I just don't. Anyway, okay, let me bring you over to here. I hope none of y'all ever come here for a professional show, because that ain't happening. Oops, what the hell? Let me go back the other way. Quit. Okay, so potato shreds right now, $8.78 a can. So they're on sale right now. The good news is, that's why I had that up a while ago. Can you see? Yeah, you can see that. The good news is no limit, unless you call 27 cans a limit. But other than that, no limit. So it's not like the, $8.78 price and you can only get 4 cans like all the other times. So understand that. But also, if you don't want to wait, because here's the bad news. April 16th through the 18th is the expected delivery date for that. Now, I will tell you that the last number 10 cans of potato shreds that we ordered, a total of 5 cans, never made it to us. They canceled the order and refunded the amount. So they never made it to us. So I'm just saying. However, they do offer this, in which I picked up a couple. Like, literally. So, yeah. 7 pounds of potato shreds. Right now, $45.85 in a bucket. So, that's another thought as well. If you're in the market for potato shreds, delivery March 10th. So, 2 days. Well, I mean, I could give you guys an Amazon affiliate link. Or you could just click my Amazon link down in the description of the video and then go and get it. But I can give everybody one. I have the power. Now that's an Amazon link for the big bucket there. For the cans, the number 10 cans, there's a link there. So, and that is, so everybody knows, affiliate links, Amazon affiliate links. If you use my link to make a purchase from Amazon, I do get a little bit of a kickback from it. So, all it is, and it's much appreciated. It adds up. You wouldn't believe what that has gone to help. Even like the Benadryl that me and Blue take. We both take Benadryl. And the Benadryl that me and Blue take, it's like $10 for 1,000 pills. I could not tell you how many times I used either Patreon funds or Amazon affiliate funds to buy our Benadryl. It is what it is. I don't want to live in excess. I'm not saying this because I want people to pity me. I don't want to live in excess. It's not how I'm supposed to live. So I'm fine. I'm content. But yeah, there's a lot of times where it helped go towards her dog food or whatever, but it typically always gets used to help out. So much appreciated. Anyway, gosh, we're at 25 after. I've got how many tabs up here? 9 tabs open today. And I went to go order them, And I was just like, okay, I give up. It's like squirrel. I just said hell with it. I'm just going to do the articles. I think some of them are kind of in place with others that make sense, but yeah, one of those news days. And by the way, I really didn't even intend on talking about what I talked about at the beginning of the show. But when this is one of the articles that came up that I was going to cover, and well, looks like there's a set of trucks sitting right there that departed from the rail car that they were on, and well, that's absolutely normal. That's what's supposed to happen. So no conspiracy there. Nobody went and sabotaged rail cars. Nope. And yes, I know it's not pronounced sabotaged. I like to have fun with words like fragile, for instance. That French word for don't break it. Let's see. Oh, when we order from Amazon. You're asking if I used your link. Well, yeah, I always click on yours. I don't know, though, if you'd get credit when I do it, though. I'll explain it. I'll explain why later. I don't know if you'd get credit for when I place orders for those. But, by the way, I will say, Steve's got a link. He's got a Rumble. Hang on. Let me see if I can find him easy. Steve's got a link, too. And, let me see if I can... I'm sure that I'm, like, following him. I just have to find him. Hang on. I thought I was following you, Steve. Oh, there you are. There you are. Here you guys go. This is Steve's Rumble, and on his Rumble, in the description of his videos, he's got an Amazon link. And in fact, let me grab that. There you guys go. If anybody orders any of those potato shreds tonight, use that link. The one I just put down there. I would appreciate it. I'm sure Steve would appreciate it. So, anywho, yeah, the reason why the show even started, because this was the area, and there it is, right there, a set of trucks that, came off of the rail car like they're supposed to. And I'm sure probably a big reason for that is because of the weight, the mass involved, and it's probably smarter for the rail car to separate itself from those trucks, because those trucks continuing to go through the air or wherever they continue to go are going to cause a hell of a lot of damage with that much mass, that much density moving with that much force. Going to cause a lot of damage. So it would make sense to me from an engineering standpoint, from a safety standpoint, to allow the rail cars to separate from those heavy-ass trucks, so that way, you're not causing more of an issue than what you have to cause. You know what I'm saying? Your trucks can go on down the track or whatever, go flipping off or whatever, but while they're going and doing that nonsense, what they're not doing is tearing up cars. So I'm sure that's the idea behind that. That just from an engineering standpoint and from a safety standpoint, that makes sense. Now, moreover to this article here, oh yeah, I know you're not in a competition with me, brother. I know. It's all good, man. I'm not in anything I do is not in competition. I don't compete. That's something. I mean, I won't say I never compete. There's stupid little competitions I might make. I might compete with somebody in flight sim, compete to do a hard landing or some silly stuff like that. But I never get in any kind of real competition, especially in life, because that's what they want us to do. That's what they want us to do. And I refuse. I'm just here. I'm not here to compete. I'm just here. So, anyway. So apparently, there's a probe, which, as you can see by the headline, is apparently rare, into a series of derailments from Norfolk Southern. I wanted to make sure I got the right one. Of course, they were the one that was the ones that had the accident in East Palestine. There was a couple other incidents too, and there were a couple of deaths involved in this. And where's it? Since December 2021, what it says: number and significance of recent Norfolk Southern accidents, which include 3 employee deaths and 3 major train derailments since December 2021. So let me unpack that by itself for a moment here. December 2021. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we're setting it just over 2 years from that date, if I'm not mistaken. So just over 2 years' time. 3 major accidents in just over 2 years' time. But yet, I gave you the math right in the title of the show. On average, there's roughly a little over 4 train derailments a day. So if there's just over 4 train derailments a day, and Norfolk Southern has only had 3 major accidents in the last 2 years, I don't know, suddenly I'm not quite as concerned as what I was when everybody was trying to fearmonger it. I was never concerned with it. Why? Because I know not to listen to them. I know to get my ass on Google and look up the information myself. Why? Because when you've done this, and I don't necessarily mean news, but when you've done research, for as long as what I've done research, you realize there are no shortcuts. There is no laziness. You have to do the walking. Plain and simple. But I have, I've seen a lot worse track records, no pun intended, than that. 3 in just over 2 years. That's not bad. Now, I'm not downplaying the loss of the employees or anything like that. Not at all. I'm just saying we need to be realistic here. We need to stop talking about major conspiracy. We need to stop talking. Do you know what the problem is in most of these accidents? It's because the infrastructure has been neglected. Plain and simple. Because the tracks are not in the best of shape anymore. And repairs are done half-ass a lot of times when they're done. They're done as absolutely cheap as possible because, I mean, come on, that's the name of the game anymore. So this is what you get. When you have failing infrastructure, you are going to have failing systems that is around that infrastructure. It doesn't matter whether it's trains like this. It doesn't matter whether it's subway systems. It don't matter whether it's city buses. If the infrastructure is neglected, you're going to have issues. That is the big conspiracy behind all the train derailments. I'm not saying that there aren't nefarious individuals that do nefarious things to cause trains to derail, and because there always has been. That's just been a thing. I didn't. Well, maybe it's not any different in the city. I don't know, but I've never grown up in the city or anything like that. I've never done this, and I'm being honest. I have never done this, but I heard about it numerous times as a kid about putting a penny on the railroad track. Now, I'd never done it, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that as the story went or whatever, that would cause the train to derail. I think that's what I was told anyway. But I'd heard other crazy things too, and I don't remember even where I heard them from, but I could have heard stuff. Like I said, my dad would have some, I don't know why my dad told me some of the stuff we talked about, but I know I had heard somewhere that people used to put little like 22 shells and stuff like that on the railroad tracks, and train would go by and run over it. But there has always been people that's done things that's tried to cause trains to derail or whatever. And while I could totally understand there be an increase in likelihood that the reasoning behind people doing that type of stuff could be, the eco-terrorism bullshit, but we haven't gotten there yet. Most of this stuff these derailments and stuff, is just caused from failing infrastructure. Plain and simple. A lot of times when you see derailments like this, the derailments are caused at a crossing. And a lot of times the reason is because something gets down into the track, in between the crossing and the track. And the train hops over that because it can't ride down in its groove. Hops over that, and that's where the problems start. Could that be done could somebody do something like that? Absolutely, somebody could put something down in there on purpose to cause the train to derail. But you could have just weird, stupid things happen. Some hard, smaller piece of steel or something falling off a vehicle and getting down in there. I don't know offhand. I'm sure there's something that could do it, that could fall off a vehicle. But any number of things, even a simple rock. I mean, depending on what it's made out of, the rock itself, what it's made out of, a number of factors. But a lot of times when trains derail, they do so at crossings, and they do so because there's something jammed in there that causes it to jump up off the track. Kind of like that video that Pinball was showing. Again, I'm not saying whether or not whatever object was down in there, I'm not saying whether or not that something was nefariously put there or if something just unfortunately got in there. But if you look into this stuff, folks, and the reason why I'm talking about this isn't necessarily, it's not just about Pinball's bullshit ideals, but it's about the fact that there are so many people out there right now fear-mongering train derailments. And it's just Wednesday. That's my point. It's just Wednesday. We have a little over 4 of them a day. We could go on and never run out of content if we just covered train derailments every frickin' day. Unreal. It is unreal. And it makes no sense to me. And I don't understand what value. If somebody could tell me what value that brings, people just going on and on and on about conspiracies, about this type of stuff, and does that prepare you anymore for anything? Or is there elements of what individuals say when they misinform and mislead about this stuff? Are there elements about what they say that could be agenda-sized? Is there anything, particular agenda that they could be pushing? That's probably where folks need to look. That's where folks probably need to look. That's probably the motivation for the misinformation. Because we have an agenda to push. Folks really need to use discernment with that. That literally means that somebody is willing to lie or mislead you in order to make something appear that it's not. For their benefit, whatever benefit that may be. I don't know about you, but when I catch people doing that, I tend to walk the other way. I don't get it. I don't get YouTube. I do not get YouTube at all. It's like backwards. People love the liars, and I'm not saying everyone, but go take a look around. The crazier, the more screwed up in the head you are, the more people you'll have follow you. If you're just real, if you're just honest, you get channels like mine. Not here to wow you, not here to impress you, not here to make money. I mean, it helps pay bills, it helps buy things. I'm not going to turn away from making something, but that's not my motivation for being here. I have no agenda. I have no political party that I want you to vote for. I don't. Right? I just want you to be armed with the proper knowledge. That's it. The proper knowledge. I don't even want to direct you onto what you should think about that knowledge. Now, I won't say my opinion about it, but I don't want to direct anybody that they have to think about it the same way I do, because that's not how the world goes around. And I certainly can't learn anything new if everybody else in the world thought like me. So I don't want everybody to think like me, because I'm damn sure not done learning. Anyway, like North Korea, they're saying, we're going to learn you. Be some FAFO going on up here in Pyongyang. They're now claiming a realistic chance of nuclear war. I would honestly probably take him a bit serious with that. No matter how much I joke about it, I would probably take him serious. If there's one wackaloon on this planet that I think would push that button, it's Little Rocket Man. Definitely Little Kim. I absolutely do believe that he would push that red button in a heartbeat. I really do. But he's the only one. I don't think the Sheikh Ahmad blah 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 of Iran, and I don't mean that with disrespect, but I have no idea what the hell they call them or their names. But I don't feel like they're itching to push a button. I don't. I've never seen an indicator at all that Iran wants to do that. I think Iran wants to be left alone. I do believe Little Kim would push that button. in a heartbeat. He is the only one on this planet that I am really kind of concerned about when it comes to that. Now, am I concerned in a matter that he's going to light the entire United States up and wipe us off the face of the map? Not at this point. But it only takes one well-placed EMP to wipe out 90% of our population, so that's a pretty effective attack. Just saying. Anyway, article says North Korea has warned of a realistic threat of nuclear conflict following the latest round of American and South Korean military exercises and predicted a catastrophic escalation in the region. The North Korean Foreign Ministry issued a statement on Tuesday denouncing recent joint air drills between Washington and Seoul, which involved at least one U.S. nuclear-capable B-52 bomber, saying the exercises only heightened the risk of conflict on the Korean peninsula. Due to the irresponsible actions of the United States and South Korea, which are concentrating only on belligerent armed demonstrations thick with gunpowder, contrary to the international community's desire for tension relief and political stability, the risk of nuclear war on the Korean peninsula is shifting from an imaginary stage to a realistic one, the ministry said, adding that the drills clearly show the U.S. is preparing for war with the DPRK. Whew, that's a hell of a long sentence, man. They could have broke that up for, like, I don't know, a lunch break or something. Similar joint combat exercises were also launched last Friday, including a U.S. B-1B strategic bomber, my favorite big bomber, while yet another drill will be held next week to simulate the U.S. and South Korean response to a missile attack by the DPRK. Moreover, beginning on March 13th, the two allies will carry out the largest drills in the region in 5 years, which will continue for 11 days. The large-scale U.S.-South Korea joint military exercise that will begin in a few days are of an aggressive nature, the ministry continued, going on to predict a catastrophic escalation that will result from it. While negotiations under former U.S. President Donald Trump resulted in a freeze arrangement, which saw a pause on joint drills with South Korea in exchange for a halt in Pyongyang's weapons tests, that deal has since collapsed, with tension spiking since President Joe Biden took office in 2021. But hang on. Hold up. And that is one thing that I praise Trump for. There are things that I praise Trump for. And his handling of North Korea was top notch. He is the first to approach it in a manner in which I had been yelling to try for decades. You know, we've always treated North Korea like the red-headed stepchild. Why can't we sit down at the table? What's the problem with that? Same goes for Iran, and that's more to my point. So even though Trump, in my opinion, made huge strides with the relationship that we had with North Korea, which we have lost, at the same time, he pissed all over the relationship that we were building with Iran. So, I don't know all the details, the motivations, and stuff like that, so. But, you know, tell you what, he is the only guy that hadn't tried to have us asshole deep in war. I respect him for that, without a doubt. But I'll still call him out for his other bullshit like red flag laws and bump stock bans and Operation Warp Speed, and there's a long list. But like I've said, I'm not here to pick a side, you know? I'm here to give you the information. Everything I just said was true. Let's see. Okay, let me try to move these. I've got 10 minutes till 9, and hell, that was like the second tab I had open. Or third, maybe. EU, I've got a ton. EU energy bills soared 300%, says von der Leyen. So they're getting slammed, and we knew they were getting slammed. And I don't know that it's going to get any better anytime soon. Probably worse. So that's a shame. That is a complete shame. Japanese real wages fall at fastest pace in 9 years, says data. This is a problem globally. It's not just the United States. I was concerned, and I've said this many times, I was concerned when Bush Sr. was in office. I was horrified by his words that we needed to better compete in the global economy. There are two things that George Bush Sr. said that horrified the hell out of me, and it was that we need to better compete in the global economy. He said it over and over and over. And the only thing he repeated more times than that was the words New World Order. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've had decades of better competing in the global economy. Do you like it? How's that worked out for you? Not so well? Because the only way that the United States could better compete in the global economy, you have to understand, you have to unpack that. It means you have to lower your standards of living. Trash cans. If this company in the United States makes a trash can and they want $30 for it, okay. You got this company in China that ships over a trash can and it's sitting on the shelf at $5 or even $10. Which one are you going to buy? Which one is the average American going to buy? So how are you going to compete with that and continue to pay your employees better wages than the other countries and this? So the only way you can better compete in a global economy, if you are one of the more wealthy nations, is to lower your standards of living. There's no other way to do it. No other way to do it. Interesting stuff, eh? So just keep that in mind. Anyway, this is global. And like I've said about everything else going on, there is a global agenda being played out right now. And I don't think that there is a people, a citizenship, a population of any nation that's going to be doing very well. I think that around the world, it's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly. And I think there's just going to be that handful. It's going to be communism. That's what communism turns into. Same thing, though. I mean, it's basically just what greed and corruption turns into. You don't have to put the communism label on it. We could put any label on it. That's the result of greed. We can stop playing the game, you know. But it takes sacrifice. You ready to sacrifice the luxuries in your life? The ease of this, that, and a million other things? Because most people aren't. And until they are, they're just going to keep bringing us down a little bit more and a little bit more. I can only tell you what's happening and tell you the truth. That's all I'm here to do. I'm not here to make up conspiracies. I'm here to tell you about the things we need to be worried about, not make up bullshit conspiracies about what people are doing to train cars. Look at that. Now this is just like I don't know if it's, I think it's a feature article on RT. Yeah, I normally don't share. Sometimes I do share the feature articles because there's important stuff in them. And I thought this was interesting. 15-minute series, 15-minute cities is actually a concept borrowed from a Soviet idea. I have no doubt of that. Have no doubt of that. It's still not a good thing, and we don't want it. So, but U.S. state pushes anti-woke bill. A Republican-led legislation that would cut funding to university programs in the U.S. state of Iowa, which push a so-called woke agenda, is currently being considered by the state's House of Representatives. The bill, known as House File 616, would stop public universities in the state from being able to seek funding for diversity, equity, and inclusion offices. It would also prohibit employees working in positions related to race, gender identity, or sexual orientation. For too long, the DEI bureaucracies at our institutions of higher education have been used to push a woke agenda on the faculty, staff, and students, Iowa State Representative Taylor Collins said last week. He added that he believes such programs are designed by those who lead them to indoctrinate students into their preferred political ideology. Critics of the bill, though, say the DEI funding is an important support system for a wide range of students. It is not just about race, not just about gender, according to the University of Iowa President Barbara Wilson, who noted last month that such funding also benefits students with physical or learning disabilities. Iowa's pushback against DEI initiatives follows a similar stance adopted by Texas, whose Governor Greg Abbott told state public colleges and universities to drop DEI requirements from their recruitment strategies. Abbott's chief of staff, Gardner Pate, wrote in a February memo that illegally adding DEI requirements to screen potential employees leads to the exclusion and alienation of people in the workplace. Not so much an equal opportunity employer anymore. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has taken similar steps to Abbott to stop DEI-based initiatives, as well as the study of critical race theory in the Sunshine State. Collins also wrote on social media that the proposed bill would return Iowa's higher education institutions' focus back to academic excellence due to the bill redirecting DEI funding towards tuition and scholarships for lower-income students. You know, really trying to help people. House File 616 is currently awaiting a vote in Iowa's House of Representatives. I'm not saying that that's where the funds go. They could wind up in another administrator's pocket. Who knows? But, crazy what our so-called centers of education have turned into. Again, just like in Iowa, just like in Florida, just like in Texas, all we got to do is stand up and say no. What the hell? Yeah, just like her. She does it all the time. She does it all the time. Doesn't mean she gets her way. But even my dog stands up. She protests stuff all the time. The show, she protests this shit every night. But, like the U.S. government does us, I just ignore her. Let's see. No, I don't ignore her. I think it's great. She's such an awesome dog. U.S. spies concerned about Russia escalation risk. So, just to read a couple of paragraphs of this here. America's top spies believe Russia does not want a direct military confrontation with NATO, but there is potential for the conflict in Ukraine to escalate, according to the annual threat assessment delivered to the Senate by spy chiefs on Wednesday. Russian leaders thus far have avoided taking actions that would broaden the Ukraine conflict beyond Ukraine's borders, but the risk for escalation remains significant, according to the 2023 Annual Threat Assessment Report. Compiled in February, the assessment was made public on Wednesday at the annual Senate Intelligence Committee hearing on global threats. Director of National Intelligence Avril Haines described China as the unparalleled priority of U.S. spies. Directors of the CIA, FBI, NSA, and the Defense Intelligence Agency also testified at the hearing. So, yeah, I mean, there is that risk. But it seems to me that the United States is kind of starting to shift its focus a little bit. I could be wrong. Maybe it's not a shift at all. Maybe it's just a broadening. But it almost seems like a bit of a shift. U.S. comments on top threat to global hegemony. That's what I mean. The U.S. intelligence community believes China is the biggest threat to Western-dominated world order, with concerns over Beijing dominating the annual report presented on Wednesday to the Senate Intelligence Committee. The People's Republic of China, which is increasingly challenging the United States economically, technologically, politically, and militarily around the world, remains our unparalleled priority, Director of National Intelligence Avril Haines told the lawmakers. Just covered that last article. The annual threat assessment report compiled by the Office of the National Intelligence starts with China and devotes 5 out of its 40 pages to the country. Beijing seeks to promote a China-led alternative to often U.S. and Western-dominated international development and security forums and frameworks, the spies claimed, predicting that China will use programs such as the Belt and Road Initiative, Global Development Initiative, and Global Security Initiative to promote modifications to international norms to favor state sovereignty and political stability over individual rights. So you mean you're worried that they're going to do the same thing that we have been doing? Check. So, yeah. That's the long and short of it. Man, I just think that the United States militarily, if you will, and I don't mean this like about the military. I'm talking about the government part of the military, right? The administration part of the military. I don't know, man. I don't know what they're thinking, but I think those guys' miniskirts are riding up a little too high or something, because it ain't good, Tater. It ain't good. And it seems like they're hell-bent for conflict. So, Elon and Tucker Carlson are both putting up with a lot of stuff here lately. This is very concerning. You know, one of the rights that I think is immensely important to our freedom is the right to have confidential sources. Now, I get that means, and does happen a lot, you get a lot of people that have the unnamed source, right? That probably not really a source at all. I get that. But if you strike away that anonymity of sources, then the chances of you getting people to whistleblow to tell the truth disappear completely. They're gone. That's how important it is. And I mean, while this is a little bit different than that specific instance, it's right along the same lines. He wants to know all the names of the journalists that he gave internal documents to. I mean, that's messed up. Why? Why do they need to know all the journalists that he gave internal documents to? Number one, we're talking about a private corporation, not government affiliated. Period. What the hell is it their concern anyway? There shouldn't be. There shouldn't be a national security concern in any way, shape, or form, or a U.S. intelligence concern in any shape or form, unless Twitter is or has been something other than what it was made to appear. And we all know that's the case. But they're trying to bring the hammer down on Elon when Elon's the one that's in there sweeping out all the cobwebs and, emptying all the trash cans and all that. He's fixing the place. Well, maybe. I think he's got his motivations, his agendas, and I think it's probably going to turn into something very, very bad. But for the time being, at least he's kind of I think that's kind of the whole part of the thing. They do stuff like this to get you to trust them. And then so when they do turn to their nefarious stuff, they hope that they can keep your support. Hey, look at all the idiots politically when it comes to the thing in the arm. Right? How many red team people said, you got to go do it. You got to go do the thing in the arm. Because Trump was the one that was at the helm when it came out. Or when it was made, or whatever. And you had all the blue team going, are you crazy? There's no way. You're crazy. You're nuts. Now, nothing changed. Nothing changed except for who held the office of the presidency. But then all of a sudden, red team, I ain't touching that with 10-foot pole. Blue team's like, you gotta go. You gotta go. Don't even ask your doctor. You gotta go. That's what blue team was saying. I don't know. Anywho, I got some headlines, as usual. Let me get some nicotine. This is my first can of these. I haven't opened up any of them. I haven't tried any of them. Banana chips, apple slices. I love strawberries. Say, I want to get some blueberries and. Let's see. Well, I don't know. Let's take a look together. I bet that's another frickin' C-140. I bet that's another Hercules flying over. I bet. Oh, nope, I'm wrong. However, whatever the hell that thing is, it's a Boeing RC-135W rivet joint. Whatever. Going under top CT 83. You probably couldn't hear it over the microphone, but yeah, that was really loud as it went over. Not really, really loud. I mean, it's at 27,000 feet, but you can hear it. Trust me, you can hear it. Earlier today, dreaming of a white Christmas. Hang on. Do 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 do. Oh yeah, this thing. It's not the aircraft though. Dang it, Mang. Hang on. There she be. This thing flew over earlier, which is the U.S. Marines. That thing was pretty low. It was pretty low when it flew over. So, anyway, I love planes. Can you tell? Okay. No, I really don't randomly sing Christmas songs, but I have no idea where the hell that comes from. It really only happens on the show, though. I don't edit, do I? Maybe once in a while or something, I might break out in a random Christmas song. Just I don't know. I like to be the troll. Let's see. I reckon we can do some headlines and run out the door screaming like our hair's on fire. U.S. House Speaker to meet Taiwan's leader, says media. Let's see. 600,000 UK small businesses could go bust this year, says a report. I'm pretty sure that's the plan. India's foreign trade in rupees gains momentum, says the media. Now, I don't know much about rupees, but I know my dad used to talk about roofies. I don't know. Yeah. Russia reacts to new Nord Stream claims. Pentagon trying to fit U.S. missiles into Ukrainian jets, says Politico. McCarthy defends sharing U.S. Capitol riot footage with Tucker Carlson. Should he have to defend himself for that? No. That should have been freely and openly given to the American people from the get-go. From the get-go. Not a damn bit of that footage should have been withheld from anyone in this country at any time. Wagner chief reports progress in key Donbass city. G7 to reconsider price cap on Russian oil. Dozens arrested in Georgia riots. No, I'm not talking about the police training center in Atlanta, Georgia. This is the country, Georgia. Russia and India dent dollar's dominance, says Reuters. Let's see. South Korea approves indirect arms delivery to Ukraine. Ukraine responds to Nord Stream claims. West knows who's responsible for Nord Stream attack, says Times. Ship allegedly used in Nord Stream bombing searched, says an official. That's how they're really trying to get that stuff buried and, we didn't do it kind of thing. EU country donates confiscated vehicles to Ukraine. India tightens control of crypto. Zelensky explains what happens if Moscow wins key Donbass battle. Cover that. Poland wants to recover money from Ukrainian refugees, says media. Iconic children's books censored without author's permission. That's an issue, folks. This happened to R.L. Stine, this particular story here. They apparently changed the words fat and crazy in some of his books. And, of course, he's the one that did the Goosebumps books. They censored, of course, recently, Roald Dahl's books. And did I see something somewhere about changes to Judy Blume's books? Judy Blume, one of the big books that she wrote was The Cat Ate My Gym Suit. That was read by, I'd hate to know how many students. I'm pretty sure that was even neutered as well. If I'm not mistaken, I remember hearing that. It's crazy. It's sad. It's really, really sad. Let's see. Britain turns to coal to keep the lights on. Imagine that. January 6th committee should be tried for treason, says Trump. I would concur. Absolutely. German defense minister comments on Nord Stream sabotage case. Chechen leaders sanctioned racehorse stolen in EU country. A damn shame. Damn shame. U.S. could shift focus from Europe to Asia anytime, says Berlin. A billionaire fraudster who stole Russia, quote unquote, dies at age 56. So I guess Russia got themselves back. U.S. spies worried. I actually covered that one. And that one. Switzerland clarifies stance on military aid to Ukraine. Opposition besieges Georgian parliament. FBI probing death on private plane of 9/11 commission lawyer. A Republican leader responds to Zelensky invitation. Polish president claims Nord Stream blast were beneficial for Europe. Ukraine endorses Georgia unrest. And lastly, EU threatens Georgia over foreign agent law. So there you go. There you have it. There's the news. Fun times. We got a whole lot to be concerned with. We got a whole lot of different things to keep our eyes on. I'm pretty sure that's not focusing our time to the over 4 a day of train derailments that happen in this nation on average. Because I'm telling you, we could pick the scariest looking one every day and we could have content every day from here on out. That's not really doing news. That's just making content. I'm not here for that either. Anyway, I am going to take my happy ass to bed, and God willing, I'll do this tomorrow, just as poorly and crappily as I did it tonight. Yes, I promise that there will be no more effort into this show tomorrow night than what there was tonight, or the night after that, or the night after that. Ain't gonna happen. But if you want news, you want information, you want some facts, well, then welcome. I am out of here for tonight, though, and God willing, I'll be back tomorrow, and I do hope to see you then. I do appreciate those that are hungry for the truth. Right on. Right on. Anyway, I'm out of here. Y'all have a good night. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.